Decent bit of work today. That's 16 minutes, 2 sets of 8 times 60 seconds with about 45 seconds rest. Just enough rest to preserve quality so that I'm running 60 seconds quicker than 5k pace right now. Today isn't about physiology. Today is about bridging the gap between I've worked on the physiology, I've done all the sort of foundation work all week, but today I'm just trying to run 16 minutes quicker than I have done for 5k right now, so that the next time I race, I'm in a better position to achieve that goal. I built a running app, it's called runzones.com. It's all about bridging the gap between sports science being really good, really important, but race day's just different. Race day's harder. Race day you need to have done the work that prepares you for the physiology and the bloody psychology that you're going to find on race day, and just the effort on the body. 5k in one go on the body physically and mentally is much tougher than some of these really cute physiology sessions. You're going to see me get in a lot of fights with the cyclists. I just don't handle confrontation that well. Oh yeah, this could be a really interesting morning. It'd be cooler if that guy was wearing my short. We are cooking. This could be a very, very hostile morning. Hopefully a good episode today. Looking to do, I'm gonna say VO2 max reps, not to confuse everybody, but probably just thinks about the pace. They're definitely gonna be VO2 pace, but because I'm actually feeling a little bit tired, I'm gonna do minute reps, but I'm probably gonna do 2 sets of 8 times 60 seconds. Whether or not I get to sort of VO2 max effort will likely depend on how the quad's feeling. You're gonna get sort of some insight into potentially if there's something not quite right. Sometimes runners would fall into a trap of like thinking they should do nothing. We're a very all or nothing mindset. That's kind of how it works. Well, if I can't do the 20 times 60 seconds, maybe I do nothing, or maybe I just do a 5k run, right? I've spent the week where on Tuesday I did some threshold, then on Thursday I did some mile reps. So when I get to a day like today, I'm thinking to myself, well, my quad's a little bit sore. Maybe I could just do some LT1. It's not wrong. The problem is I'll then finish the week and it might have been 10 days or even 14 days since I've basically ran quicker than, 310 per K, 308 per K. And the problem is if you want to go run a half marathon at 312 per K, which is my goal, roughly about 67:30, well, you need to be doing some reps a brave bit quicker than sort of 310 to 312 per K. And if all I do today is bang 16 minutes of work quicker than, let's say, 305 per K, I end the week with 16 minutes of work quicker than I'd already done this week, and I think that's pretty bloody good. Let's get into it. This is just Richmond Park all over. It'd be cooler if that guy was wearing my shorts, mind you, but he's not. But that's about as close as I'm gonna go, not because I'm afraid, but I just like to be respectful of this is sort of their territory. Now what you're gonna love about this morning is you're gonna see me get in a lot of fights with the cyclists, because this is where the cyclists in Richmond Park think they're fucking in the Tour de France, or they're about to be. You'll see. Oh yeah, this could be a really interesting morning. Maybe I'll behave myself today. Who knows? Can't make any promises. I'm a bit torn. I don't know if I'm absolutely buzzing that there's so many people out getting stuck into like some exercise, or if I just think it's ridiculous how many cyclists bang around this loop. See what I mean? There's a lot going on, and absolutely a lot going on. This could be a very, very hostile morning. Is when you're feeling a bit like, meh, you're a bit tired from training, I'm a bit tired lately with work and stress. If anyone's been following the Instagram stuff and me launching run zones, it's very stressful. But if you don't snap out of that, like, lethargic, kind of like, meh, you're not going to have a good session. We're not here to waste time. I don't have time. Working on the platform, doing all this stuff, I don't have time. So if I'm here and I'm going to dedicate time to something, anything, it has to be for like a good purpose. You have to make the most of it. And so if I don't sort of get in an attitude of, let's get after this, let's sort of have a great morning, I've just fucking wasted an hour to an hour and a half of my life that I didn't really have. Alright, so another little quick bit of advice. I said today's all about pace, and I did mean that. There's a reason to that, and I think lately I've realised I'm often going to races and I've focused just far too much on like the science. That's why I built the bloody web app. The whole purpose was to combine science being really great for moving our physiology forward, science for being really great in terms of it's going to help me run at faster paces and not be tired versus what I used to sort of feel like, which might have been a bit tired. But then you've got to kind of combine the sciencey stuff with the reality that what you were trying to achieve was to run faster with less effort, right? But if you don't actually go and almost like practice that, you end up getting to race day and you just haven't really ran that quick. Because you've done everything right by science. You know this sort of like bullshitty, if you want to stay in zone 2, you have to like walk, jog. Well, that part of the equation isn't bullshit. That's a fact. If you want to stay in zone 2 and it's not that developed, you might have to walk, jog. The bullshitty bit is, if you want to achieve something in a race, like a fast time, well, you've still got to bridge that gap. Sometimes to achieve the result, you've got to do almost like a bridge. How do I get this new sciencey fitness? How do I get this new base foundation fitness into today I'm ready to go and race at a certain pace for a certain distance? I specifically came to a park where I knew there would be a flat bit of road and I knew there would almost be no excuses. You take yourself to somewhere quick, you eliminate excuses, and then you just see where you're at. All right, the warm-up is completely finished. I've done my strides, I've done my drills, I've done sort of like activation stuff. I'm gonna go on the less busy road bit. It might be gradually uphill one way, but it's really minimal. I just don't handle confrontation that well, and there's a lot going on over there, and I really do not handle confrontation that well. Let me crack on with this, and I'll let you know how we go. All right, it's still not easy, but we're doing good. We're almost halfway. We're sitting about 250 to 255 per K. I don't smash the gradual downhill because I told you what matters today is banking time at pace, but it's definitely getting a little bit harder. That's halfway. Instead of taking 4 to 5 seconds rest, I'll take about 90 seconds, just enough to preserve quality in this session. And that's how you manipulate rep length, recovery length. If I wanted to run 255 per K and I wanted to really hit VO2 quite hard, I might tighten that rest to like 30 seconds. Then I don't need to go heaps faster to stress the sort of physiology in the way that I wanted. Today by pulse won't look like VO2, but there will still be parts of today that will definitely get above like threshold or tempo, even if the heart rate doesn't reflect it. But I don't want it to be super hard VO2. My legs they're quite sore, they're quite tired, and so we're being as gentle as we can to achieve that mission of 16 minutes quicker than 3 minutes to 3:05. Oh, I love it. Body's not happy right now. We'll get through this. A little bit of self-massage will help a little bit. I've said it before, Scully needs to go to the fucking gym. This is my favorite tree, by the way. Look how sick that tree is. All right, back to work. Honest to God, the cyclists, they're dangerous, if not morons. And I don't mean that about every cyclist, but if a car passed me at this speed and how close some of these cyclists are passing me, you'd get arrested. Look! Honest to God, he thinks he's at the Giro d'Italia. I think it's a 15-mile-per-hour road. That's probably 35, 40. I can always tell when I'm getting tired. That's why the cyclists are starting to wind me up. Must be starting to certainly get above threshold, that's what we'll say. Slight uphill. That was about 251 per K for the minute, right on that 45 seconds rest. With 3 to go. I'm not sure if my left calf is itchy or if it's starting to go too, but hold on guys. We've got fucking Chris Froome just finishing off his Tour de France TT. Nice. We're nearly done. Let's keep pushing, not let things stress us. That was one cyclist call another cyclist a wanker. What is wrong with humans? It's fucking Richmond Park on a Saturday morning. Job done. No more complaining. Look, bloody good work. Left calf's talking to me a bit. Left quad's talking to me a bit. Right hamstring. Listen, I've built this web platform. You can check it out, runzones.com. I built it because physiology will get you really far. It will. I'm not talking shit on this science. It's really, really useful. But there's some parts of the science that I just found over 20 years of running. You know, do 10 by a K, a 10K effort, take 90 seconds rest. Bloody good session, right? You're gonna bank time at sort of like 10K effort. You're gonna move the physiology forward. But I just don't always believe that 10 by a K with 90 seconds rest fully prepares you for 10K pretty hard in one go without recovery. So what I'm building is kind of how do you bridge that gap? I remember running 28:45 for 10k. I had just came off a marathon, clearly been trained really well physiologically. I was super fit, but something happens in a 10k in the first sort of 2 to 3k when you set off and you're running harder than you have done for a while. Your body fills up with lactate and you're not used to it, and then you shut down. So a really good coach at the time set me about 10 days out. He set me 2 times 8 minutes really hard. And I remember thinking, what the fuck is that? 2 times 8 minutes? Really hard? I had an 8-minute rep, I had 6 minutes rest, and I had to do an 8-minute rep again. And so we didn't complicate it. We went to a grass field. It was really tough. And then 10 days later, I run 28:45. And do you think when I sort of set off in that race, I felt underprepared? No, because the fucking 2 times 8 minutes was harder. It might not make sense by like the textbook, it might not make sense by sports science, but not all of running is fucking textbook or sports science. I'm building this app to protect people a little bit, because when you go to a race and you've dedicated yourself to the training and you've been disciplined and you've been patient, and then running fucking rips your heart out because it doesn't go well. And I just think there's a better way to prepare. I just think you have to make sure in the 4 weeks leading into that race, you've done a couple of sessions, you've done a couple of efforts, replicate what you're gonna get on race day. And if they don't go that well in the training, well then thank fuck that you did it in the training build up and not on race day. It protects people from going to races, not feeling prepared, beating themselves up after it, and then being devastated and giving up on running. It's not perfect, I'm building this all myself, but if you want to check it out, it's at runzones.com. Mission accomplished for me today, 16 minutes, banked, all sub 3 minutes per K. Does that now prepare me to go run a 5k or a 10k? Not yet. Is it a mini bridge between you've done sort of like a 5k time trial in 15:17, 2 weeks ago, now you've banked 16 minutes quicker than that. The next time you move to K reps, then you maybe go back to the 5k time trial, you're gonna be quicker. It's a process of elimination. You're ticking boxes, you're working on the physiology during the week, and then perhaps at the weekend you're doing one of these bridge sessions that moves you closer to race day. It's that simple. Take care, like, subscribe, do all those lovely things. Bye bye for now.